All right, Sean Williams here with Coach Miday, strength and conditioning coach for Western Kentucky. Coach, how's fall camp going so far?
It's going well so far.
Okay.
You work with the kids so long. In my point of view, coming in here in January, it's really the first time besides spring football you get to see the young guys run around and put a lot of time in. So, it's time I look forward to because you're with them for 6-7 months and now you get to see the rewards pay off.
Yeah. And now you're pretty much the main contact with the kids during the summer as far as working out and everything like that. I mean, what are some of the things you focus on during the summer whenever there's like downtime, nobody's practicing to prep them for the fall camp?
I think right now we split our summer into kind of 2 different sessions. You're allowed 9 complete weeks with the athletes. 1 week has to be discretionary by NCAA rules. So we took that time right around July 4th, our discretionary time. So June for us was set up still more focused to mass gain, strength and conditioning, typical weight room setting, and we focused more conditioning in July.
Okay.
Thought that's what the program needed. We went a little harder, up the volume of running more towards the end of July. Where before in the past I've split it right in half. Here we did, we delayed that a little bit longer so our guys could get stronger for the season.
Okay. And you talk about, obviously, another thing you have to deal with in the summer is the new kids coming in, the freshmen. I mean, how do you kind of deal with them? You deal with them separate than the veterans?
Absolutely. When they come in, June 3rd was our first week of strength and conditioning. They come in and they lift with themselves. They're not going to be able to keep the pace.
Yeah.
We work at a pretty good pace in the weight room. So they are by themselves. Once we're done with that discretionary time, they have about 3.5 weeks with the older guys.
Okay.
So the older guys can get to see who can move, who can run, who's strong. And the younger guys get to see what some of the older guys can do.
Yeah.
So it's good for them. Some guys think they're pretty strong, and they get in that weight room and they see some of the stronger players lift, and they realize, maybe I'm not ready this year. Or some guys will look at it as a challenge. So
definitely in college football, then.
Yeah, definitely.
Now you coming in, during the springtime, kind of new on the coaching staff. What do you kind of do then whenever you come into a new place? Do you kind of prepare them the same way, or is it different under a different head coach? How does that work?
Yeah, you know what? We go right back to every strength and conditioning program is going to be a little different.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to come across some really successful strength and conditioning coaches. I've taken a little bit from each one. I'd say 70% of what I do is from one main guy that had a lot of success. So we just teach fundamentals, just like it's that first day of spring practice with install. We're doing basic things, and we do the same thing in the weight room. So teaching concepts, teaching how I want to move. We're going to lift pretty fast pace, like we're going to play.
Okay.
And that's not we're not going to take time in between sets. We're going to do a push and a pull. Once we get off those platforms, we move pretty quick.
Okay.
We're still going to hang clean, we're still going to bench, we're still going to squat, but once we get off those platforms, just like learning that pace right out that Coach Petrino wants, that they still are learning day to day. It's the same thing I had in the weight room.
Yeah.
So those first couple weeks, maybe 3-4 weeks, are just the foundation, just like spring practice would be. Then the summer, we can really turn it up. Most of our gains came in the summer. We do more explosive work in the summer than I did in the winter. So it was good. It was good. But the answer to your question is fundamentals, just like it would be playbook-wise in spring.
Yeah, you kind of answered my next question, which I was going to say you kind of tailor your workouts kind of based on the speed and the pace of the practices out here.
Absolutely. I think it's real hard for a kid to train his body to get a couple-minute rest in between every set and then come out here and try to fly around and, go in a hurry-up pace. And, you got to look at the teams we're going to play, too.
Yeah.
And the teams are going to try to run us up and down the field, starting with game 1. So we have to be in that kind of conditioning, and that's got to carry over in the weight room.
Okay.
I think to slow down the lifting so slow that, their bodies aren't used to that. To go out there and practice will be real hard.
Yeah.
So, we're going to work opposite muscles, and when we rest our chest, we're going to do a pull on the other side. And after a pull-up, we might go back to a bench press. So you're going to see a lot of movement in the weight room. And, it's beneficial for what we want to do in the football field. Okay.
I think it's another cool aspect of you and your trainers as well is you guys are out there during practice telling people to hustle back to the huddle and everything like that. So you're very involved.
I think what we do in the weight room is something I like to call effort-based training. For the kids to buy in, it's got to start with myself and Coach Wilkes, who we've been together since 2007. We're so good because we know what we want to do out there. I have offense, he has defense. I'll pick up a wide receiver that just ran 40 yards down the field and run him back.
Yeah.
He will do the same with defensive backs. Kids got to understand when we want them to run to the sideline, they go all the way to the sideline.
Yeah.
He's great about that. The the kids see it's important to us, it makes it that much easier for them to listen to us, for them to train with us. In the summertime, if the kid's struggling, you're going to see us jump in and run and help him through it.
Yeah.
So, it's a lifestyle for me. It's a lifestyle for Coach Wilkes, but we love football too. We're not just strength coaches. We've got a little bit of football in us, so because of that, we'll run around out there with the kids. I'll make sure they're hydrated.
Yeah.
It wears off. You can't just tell the kids how to do it. Sometimes you got to show them, and that's what we're doing out there.
Okay, you could definitely tell it out there looking at your practices, and you guys are out there very involved. You can definitely tell you guys love football while you're out there.
Yeah,
too.
We do love football, and we're the same way in the weight room. When the kids go from a push and a pull, or maybe a lunge and a hip flexion type movement, we have the same way. We'll be moving at a fast pace, side to side, with the kids in the weight room. That's an all the time thing. We don't sleep much, neither one of us. We've probably just gotten used to it, and they will too, and the kids know it. The kids know it, and it's easy to get along with. They see we want to work hard, they want to work hard. I really believe in that.
Yeah, definitely lead by example for sure.
There's no question. Now, I don't know how long I'll be able to keep it up. I'm getting a little older. The mornings are getting a little stiffer, but
you stretch more, right?
I take better care of my body now. But no, it keeps me in shape, and kids know it's important to us, so it's important to them.
That's good, that's good. Now tell me a little bit, there's this video of you at Marshall where they're breaking something across your back. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think Western fans kind of saw that video and they started tweeting it out, and they're like, hey, what's this all about? Will we see something like this here at Western?
You know what, I haven't talked to the head coach about it. The players saw it too. What had happened was we wanted to get the kids fired up. We played Ohio University, and the people don't understand the YouTube video. It doesn't do it justice. We had a great team chaplain. Reverend Harvey always came to chapel with a message, and his message that day was, we're going to break Ohio, and he had those paddles in chapel before the game. So the kids saw them in chapel. They were around them. They said break Ohio University on them. They had no idea what we planned to do with them. So when we went out for pregame 40 minutes before, we went ahead, Coach Wilkes and I each broke a paddle over us. There was no tricks involved. I have a picture of the bruise. It's a large, substantial bruise on my back from him. The kids loved it. They got fired out. We instantly jumped up to a 14-0 lead.
Nice.
So, the kids really got fired up. They talked about it for weeks. Then again, team chaplain came to us and said, do you have another message? He says, my message in chapel is going to be light it up. We're going to light them up. So then we're like, okay. We can't do the paddle again, so we never do the same thing twice.
Okay.
So the paddle now said Tulsa, light it up. And the kids didn't understand. They knew something was going to happen with the paddle. So that's when Wilkes and I came up with the idea. He put alcohol in his mouth. The paddle was saturated in alcohol. Lit the fireball from his mouth onto the paddle. And that's how that went. Now, I never knew, I knew our video guy had taped it.
Yeah.
But for it to spread like it did, people told me they saw it on ESPN, College Sports, CBS College Sports. No idea it was going to spread like that.
Yeah.
Something we did twice, and it actually started 2011 at the St. Pete's Bowl. We played FIU. I believe they were 8-4. We were 6-6, and we were going to lock the gate and physically beat the team. But that was always a message that year. Anytime we played home, we're going to lock the gate and physically beat them. Well, for the bowl game, we were going to lock the gate and swallow the key. So I took a key before the game. Reverend Harvey had the key in the team chapel. The kids knew it was the gate key back in Huntington, West Virginia. So he said, this time we're going to swallow it. So I was sitting there listening, and I was like, you know what? And this was the start of all of it. I said, you know what? I'm going to take that key and swallow it right before the game. Because Reverend Harvey had it. I had it around my neck during warm-ups. So the kids there's always a message to, the stunt that I've done.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. I took the key, had a bottle of Gatorade with me. I took the team out to the field and went ahead and pulled it off my neck, took it off the chain, swallowed it. The kids ran out of stretch lines. They tackled me. And that was it. So I've done 3 things like that. But, the players here are expecting something. But it'll be interesting to see if we do something at all.
It will be. I think a lot of Western fans will be looking forward to that. And like you said, you don't do the same thing twice,
never
too.
Do it
so
twice.
It sounds like
at this point.
You keep upping the extremities as well,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Where's it going to end? I've had people say, you keep on upping it, upping it, upping it. Where's it going to end? I don't know.
Yeah.
It might have ended at Tulsa.
Well, maybe you're at a new school. Maybe you can start at the bottom and work your way up again.
Yeah, we could. I don't think people realize. I've had people tell me it's got to be fake. No, I have the bruises, the pictures to show. we're pretty intense out there. We have a little bit different look on us during game day
Yeah.
as strength coaches than I do right now. It's all business, and the kids know something's up because my look's a little different in the locker room. They know when it's coming, previous kids, and it was good. It was good. We'll see what happens as we get closer. Nothing in the works right now.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you very much, Coach Miday.
Not a problem.
Appreciate it.